Greetings, friends. My name is Dr. Jeffrey Johnson. I am the Director of Strategic Initiatives right here at the CDC of Tampa, and I am excited to be the host of the CDC Experience. Today, we're featuring some immaculate, amazing brothers in Tampa Bay for Black Business Awareness Month. You don't want to miss this. If you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or Spotify, be sure to share this experience with someone else so you can learn more about the programming as well as the businesses in Tampa Bay. I have the pleasure of interviewing the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Taj Mahal. Mr. Taj Mahal, welcome to the CDC
It's
Experience.
a pleasure to be here, man. I appreciate the opportunity. Glad to have a seat in the building, man.
Sir, I'm glad that you have a seat at the table. The table has been spread for you as well as your partner that we will talk to momentarily. Just tell us a little bit more about Taj Mahal, not the building, but the man.
Taj Mahal, in one word, I'm redemption. One of those individuals come from an impoverished neighborhood. I did impoverished things. I'll put it like that. And it got to a point where I started traveling and reading, which created a paradigm shift, which ultimately made me feel like I had to give back to my community.
So when did that start for you? How long ago was that awakening took place that I need to give back? I need to shift the way that I think, that I need to add impact to those around me.
Well, to be honest with you, even when I was doing devilish things, it was always there. So I've always given back in some capacity. I felt like it was always implemented and planted into me. My parents, my dad's a Black Panther. He was a military vet. So some of those things I already had in me, but you veer off to the wrong path. But I think it was one of those things that really changed me is when I faced a charge, and the state attorney that I faced in front of me in court was my classmate.
Wow.
At that time, it was kind of like a shift because I felt like I was settling in life and doing things and not, that was not conducive to what I was actually put here to do.
Now, if this is uncomfortable for you, definitely tell me that and we'll go into another question. I'm just curious because if there is a shift for you and a paradigm shift that moves your thinking to get to a place of impact, what will be that place of rock bottom that you say? I know you talked about the attorney that was in front of you, a classmate, but what was rock bottom for you that said, I need to get it together?
Um, Being through the struggle, I've been homeless, been repoed, been incarcerated, been evicted, and I've always found a way to get the money, but because of the fact that I wasn't planting seeds on fertile ground, it always left. So I think at some point you start realizing you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired of going through
Yes.
that cycle, And then I think also I've always been recognized as a leader, but one thing about leadership, if serving is beneath you, then leadership is beyond you. So for me, it was like,
Go back, go back, go back. Say that again. I need the audience to hear that. If serving is beyond you, then leadership is
if serving is beneath you, then
beneath you.
leadership is beyond you.
Wow.
So for me, I had to get to a point where the material things or the tangible items weren't my sole impact. Being the guy with the flashy cars or whatever the case may be, or having that name wasn't my sole purpose to be here on earth. And so I think the more I got convicted, the more I kept thinking about it in my mind, you just had to make a shift. So that's pretty much what it was for me.
And that's why we're here today. You're a part of an organization that gives back in Tampa Bay. Could you tell us more about the organization? Spell it out for us so we'll have that information
Yeah.
if persons desire to go and research you guys.
Yes, sir. Well, our name is the Society of Influencers and Creatives, better known as SICK. Ultimately, we're like a fraternity of entrepreneurs. Our goal is to do two things. We're trying to implement and build a collaborative effort amongst the community to kind of restore Black Wall Street. At the same time, we get a community enrichment, boots to the ground to restore those who are depleted. So you'll find us in different cities and different states, whether it's homeless drives, women's shelters, hoodies for the homeless, mentoring, curriculum, whatever we can do, whatever void we can fill, we got a conglomerate of individuals that's willing to do that.
So, how did this start? How did SICK come to being?
Well, Sean, the owner of Rose Bar, one of the owners of Rose Bar, approached many of us in regards to his vision of us being the fly guys, the fly guys that go city to city and try to build a business pipeline. And so that's where it started. So Houston was our very first trip. We ended up providing Christmas for 90 orphans in Houston.
Wow.
That's when we realized like we all got this same interest in regards to giving back. And so we went full steam ahead into making sure that vision came into reality. So that's where it started right there through Sean.
What are some of the things that SICK is doing in the community now?
Well, first of all, we go city, state to state. So, like I said, we did 90 orphans in Houston and Atlanta. We partners with the Feed the Streets and the Hoodies for Homeless initiative. We did a women and children shelter as well. Then we did DC, we did Nashville. Now in Tampa, we specifically do like a homeless drive. We have curriculum that we're developing to kind of teach financial literacy, independent contracting, media production, culinary arts, artificial intelligence, different things that we can kind of pitch to kids that may not be college bound, but at the same time reduce their the poverty rate. So we do that. We got a thing on the 29th where we go speak to the at-risk kids in Polk County. The same thing to kind of steer them from going down that same path that many of us have done.
So August 29th, you guys are going to Polk County
Yes,
to
sir.
add impact there.
Yes, sir.
Our listening audience ranges from so many different age groups and generations, and even persons outside of Tampa Bay. If someone wanted to become a part of the SICK organization, what should they do?
Just come with a willingness to help, willingness to serve, and have a. Our biggest thing is this: we want people that are malleable, able to serve first. Whenever we do homeless drives, our difference is this: we bring out the humanity in it. It's not just serving food for us. So we want anybody that wants to join us to understand you got to look these people directly in their eyes. You may have to touch them, hug them, whatever you can do to make these individuals feel like they are human and that they have another and second chance in life. So that's the heart that we want first.
Sure.
Secondly, to have your own business, your own things going on in that regard, so you can kind of bring that to our forefront so that we can kind of make it a well-rounded circle.
And one last question for you. I'm just curious. A person must have a genuine heart in order to give back. Why do you think in this culture, this day, this climate of society, that many persons are not looking to give back and serve others? They're more individual driven to think about themselves and their goals. What is going on around us now that will make persons think that way?
I think because we're in the social media area, we're in the bag area. Just chase the bag, chase the money, which we all like that. You got to find the things on, but it tends to make you.
I don't know what that is,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
You
know
know,
what that is.
it tend to make us lose sight of what's really important. For us, we realize that although we're trying to accumulate these different things, our mark on this world or our purpose is associated with trying to elevate others. So our goal is literally making a mark in their lives that cannot be erased. That's simply what we're trying to do. So for us, we're the people that make giving back sexy. And one of the things we found that works for us is by the other volunteer operations is we can bring 40, 50, 60 people at any given time. And I mean the younger generation. And it's simply because they relate to us, they relate to our stories, so that we're the starting port for them when they never knew how they can get into that lane. And so that's why we're branding that, we're recruiting that, and any individual who wants to be a part of it can be a part of it, whether affiliated or directly a part of the organization.
Absolutely amazing. Friends, you've heard it from the man, the myth, the legend, Taj Mahal with the SICK Foundation. Need you to get this. It's okay to chase the bag, but what is the mark you're leaving on society? We have more. Stay tuned. We'll be back with another partner from the SICK organization. Greetings, friends. This is Dr. Jeffrey Johnson, the Director of Strategic Initiatives right here at the CDC of Tampa. Thank you so much for listening to the CDC Experience. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and now on Spotify. I am so excited to continue the conversation with one of the collaborators from the SICK organization. We heard from Taj Mahal, but now we're hearing from Mr. Patrick Lawson. Mr. Patrick, how are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking. How you doing?
Man, I'm amazing. Thank you for asking as well. Thank you for being a part of this. We had an opportunity to talk talked to Taj a little bit about what SICK does, but we want to bring you into the conversation as well. I think when you have multiple persons, it shows the layers of what an organization is doing, and they can uncover those things to share with those that are listening to us about that organization. So thank you for being here on behalf of SICK. Now, it's interesting, before we go into SICK, I had an opportunity to meet you a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You was able to come to my little place, a couple of my places, a couple of my homes,
Yes, sir.
and do some work for us. Tell us more about your entrepreneurial strides and how this led you to being a part of SICK.
Thank you very much. He's in everything for me started with DJing, right? And funny story, I never wanted to be a DJ. Even till this day, it's not even like a big interest. I believe it's a gift that's been given to me from my higher power. Whatever higher power anybody believes in, they gave you something. I believe you should use it. And so it went from DJing to go into buying a sound system because there was no place to do anything, and then those venues wanted something installed, and then they wanted a TV installed, and then somebody like you said, hey, can you install a TV at my house? And then just kind of just snowballed, and then it's just I say it's a blessing for me. Growing up, I had a lot of different influences that were a lot of negative, around the communities that we grow up in, and just to have something that was able to give me an outlet and an opportunity, I give thanks for that.
So how did your entrepreneurial, whether you love DJing or liked it, it led you to other opportunities? And stated before how we met, both of my homes, you came and you hung TVs and you did great, and they're still there. Need you to come back and do some other stuff.
Hey, no
my
problem.
son's on punishment, so that's why he's not on the wall right now. So, but anyways,
It's all right.
that led you to other entrepreneurial aspects and connecting you with other entrepreneurs. So how did you get involved with the Society of Influence Collaborators? Or correct me on the name.
Yeah, Society of Influencers and
Creators.
So I got involved with them because I got a call from Sean. Sean is I've been working with him over a decade. I've known him for a very long time, and it's one of those relationships where enough time has passed for someone to show you who they really are, and seeing who he is to the point where anything he says, I'm for it. And it's shown that everything that he's done has meant something, and he's a big giver, and I like to do that as well. And it's hard to find people that you can, kind of relate to in that sense. Givers don't necessarily find givers a lot. Givers find a lot of takers. So when I found this, when I got invited to this group, it was great for me. And seeing all the different givers in the group, it made me want to give more. Even when we didn't have something, we make each other want to go find something else to go give to somebody else. So it's me coming onto this group was an invitation, and like I said, it's I give all the I don't know how far we can go with this.
We're
podcast,
very spiritual
but
here.
I give all the glory to God, and it's just and it's really the importance of the influencers and everything is that I never necessarily knew the direction that I wanted to go into, but the opportunities and things that were shown to me and around me were able to bring me to the point where I can do what I'm doing today. I can feed my family, and it's just something as simple as DJing, but apparently a lot of people think it's important to them. You get married, you get certain events in life, you want to celebrate, and it could be simple as DJing, but I take it seriously to the point where I know they'll never get those times back. I know that you only turn 50 once. You only get married. Well, you don't get married once. You're supposed to. But I take everything seriously, and the fact that I believe you should always give your all has gotten me here. Me giving and giving and giving and giving has gotten me here. So it's nothing that I can say I've done. That's the only thing I can attribute to how I'm able to be a part of this wonderful group.
And I'm curious, you have been in entrepreneurship, and because of Sean's invitation into the group, you're now a part of a group of collaborators and influencers in Tampa Bay. What is it that you will say to others that may feel as if they're on an island by themselves? that they're not connected to anyone greater than them. They're a business owner. They're just flowing in their own lane. How would you encourage them to be a part of SICK? Because as we talked about in the last segment with Taj, it was many persons in this culture is secure the bag, but you're not making impact. What do you say to that entrepreneur to say, it's time for you to give back to others and you need to work with other people to achieve a greater impact than what you could do by yourself?
Well, I would just tell them to pay attention, because even for me, you'll realize when like things grow and get better for me when I give more. Like when I need something, I find someone in need to give them something that I do have. And like I said, the higher power finds its way to give me what I need, and a lot of people, you might not have had that experience in life, but I suggest, just go into something, find something positive, find something that fulfills other people. Everybody has something. Give that away. You got a gift, give it away. And you'll be surprised at how things open up for you. Like I wished I had a better explanation for it, but
I think that's good.
Whenever I've tried to control it myself, it never really worked out. But whenever I've, prayed about it, felt in my heart what the right thing was to do, I went to go do that, and then everything came after that. So I mean, I just suggest people, there's something in you, like there's something. Like I said, I was just playing music with my friends as a kid. Now it's turned into an audio-visual company. It's turned into an invitation to a nonprofit group. It's turned into traveling to different cities and making an impact on different people. And it all started just by hanging out and playing with my friends. So I don't want anybody to think that what they're doing is not worthy, or it's not what's going to help them get on their path. I think whatever it is you have is worthy to somebody, and you should give it away.
A gift is useless if it remains in the wrapper, is not unraveled and given to someone else. I think that is what makes SICK and so many other organizations alike powerful, because we're helping persons, not we, but I mean your organization, and what we do here at the CDC is really helping people tap into what their gifts are. I think if we're around not only influencers, but people who speak the same language, who think the same, you start discovering even more about who you are, the gift that is in you, and you start flourishing. You start to discover untapped potential, and that is the power of development and impact into other people. So we appreciate what you guys are doing at SICK. Could you tell us more about how do we find you on social media?
Well, you can follow us on Instagram, SIC Presents, and you can send us an email, info@sicpresents.com. You go to our website, sicpresents.com. We don't have any one phone number, but if you can get a hold of any one of us, we'll be glad to help you. And
people don't make phone calls anymore; they just send messages.
Well,
that's it.
Get on the IG, the social media, whatever whatever works for you. But yeah, that's and I would encourage anyone to come out to any of our events and activities, because it's you'd be surprised what you get, when you give to others, and even to further that whole being used thing. Someone said that if you can't be used, then you're useless. And I really had to decide, like, I don't want to be useless. I want to be used, and that's what
unwrapping the
everything.
Gift.
Yeah,
unwrapping.
And I really encourage everybody, give it away. Whatever you got, just give it away.
You've heard that, friends. You have a gift. Give it away. As we have a spotlight this month highlighting Black businesses in the Tampa Bay area, the greatest call is for you to discover what is inside of you. Give that to others so that you can make a positive impact. We have another guest. Stick around. We'll be right back. Hello, friends, and welcome to the CDC Experience. My name is Dr. Jeffrey Johnson of the CDC of Tampa, and I'm so grateful that you are listening or watching us. You can find this on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and now on Spotify. Would you go to our website to learn more about the CDC and all of the many programs that we have, cdcoftampa.org. Please follow us, like us today, and sign up for more of our informational tools that you can receive from our website. Today, I am excited to be with Karif Johnston, and he is one of the amazing Black entrepreneurs here in the city of Tampa. August is Black Business Awareness Month, and so we want to do our level best interviewing as many Black businesses as possible so you can go and support them. You got it right. Not only do we want you to support the CDC of Tampa, but we want you to support those in whom we feel is worthy of support. So today we have in the studio with us Mr. Karif Johnston. How are you, sir?
I'm blessed. I'm grateful to be here. Thankful. When I met you, I actually met you about 2 weeks ago in the store. I knew there was purpose behind this. And
We
to be
met
one,
before, but we didn't have that long
correct,
conversation.
correct.
We had a couple of weeks ago. Yes.
So I'm just thankful to be in the situation, knowing where we came from to build this business to the levels at today. I just give God the glory. I'm one of 3 owners of Shoe Mountain. Shoe Mountain was established by my brother John, and we started in 2005 in the flea market, little store. I was in school at the time playing football, and then God put it on my heart. Sometimes as kids, you do things, you don't realize that those things that you're doing is going to turn into a passion one day. I used to love collecting sneakers, but like most kids, you want to make it out try to make it to the league, try to be a professional athlete, but sometimes God have other plans for you. So for me, it was actually connecting with my brother John and becoming part of Shoe Mountain. We started off in Fowler, back about in 2007. We actually moved to the storefront on Fowler. When we came to that location, we've been there for 10 years. 10 years. And one of the biggest things that it showed me, through hard work, resilience, you have your ups and downs in business like anybody else, but one of the biggest things that it showed me was no matter what you do, there's always going to be people on the outside that want to take you out. And I'm not saying that lightly. We was on Fowler for probably, like I said, 10 years, 2007 to 2017, when we had to relocate. The reason we had to relocate is because at that time they had Champs and Foot Locker and Foot Action all under the same umbrella, but inside the mall. They made a deal with the landlord to come into our plaza and push us out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they made a deal to come into our plaza to push us out. Now, we didn't understand the fullness of it. It was like, hey, let's let us renew our lease, treat us like a human being. If we have to leave, we have to leave. But they said,
That
no.
would be the most sensible thing to do.
Correct, but sometimes people look at the color of your skin and think you're uneducated. Sometimes they look at you and say, you know what, they don't deserve better. But God still has the last saying and everything. So when they came in there in 2017, they made a deal with the landlord. Not until 2018 was when it's time to renew our lease in September. Right there, I never forget, it was March. We was waiting to renew our lease coming up September because we know it's coming up. They said we can't renew our lease. And we've been asking them, hey, let's renew our lease. We had only 2 months, back to school's coming up, 2 months to find a new place.
Wow.
We didn't know what we was going to do. We just trusted God. Said, you know what, you worked it out for us before, you're going to do it again. We came over to Hillsboro, looked at this one open vacant spot that was in the back. We said we'll stay here for now and we'll transition. All of a sudden, about 2 weeks later, all Paylesses go out of business. When all the Paylesses went out of business, God said, this is for you guys right here. Took the corner spot. It was a blessing in disguise, and ever since then, we never looked back.
Wow.
So the moral of the story, sometimes things look difficult in life. You may not like what's going on, but just know once God's behind it, it's for your betterment. Just trust it.
You were in school playing ball.
Correct.
Your big brother, John, shout out to you, John. How did he come about with this vision? Is it because he wanted to be a part of a market that was, exciting more kids who wanted, sneakers and tennis shoes? What was the vision behind that?
For him, much as he revealed to me, it was part of, in everything in life, you always got to hustle, and God put it on his heart for him, for something that he wanted to do was always, one of the things was opening and having a shoe store, a retail store. For him, it was humble beginnings. I don't want to speak on his story as much,
Sure.
but it was more humble beginnings for him to come up with this idea of buying shoes, retail price, and being able to find the great deals and resell it back at the regular price. When you find that, when you're blessed to find that niche and be able to do so and be able to sell, because selling is not easy for everybody. So when you have that niche to be able to be a salesperson and be able to sell something back at retail price and find it for a good deal, that means that, hey, you found something. So when he started off, that's what he did. He started in the flea market, build up his business, and with him building up business in the flea market, that's when he was able to transition into the Fowl location. So everything for him, was just that idea that God put on his heart, and he ran with it.
And I want to ask you because I know he's shy and he doesn't per se like the camera, and he gives you, the opportunity to talk. And I wanted to bring that out about the vision and how it started. And ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are watching, they are so much in love with community. They said to me, how could we give back to the kids that are less fortunate in the community, not looking for anything in return? We don't need any coverage. We just want to give back. And that says a whole lot. And that's why we're here in this space today. And I'm so grateful for you guys, even having the heart and the passion to give back. Talk to us about entrepreneurship. Has it been easy in the East Tampa community? Do you see a lot of support from other Blacks that come to your business?
I'll be honest with you. We're so grateful for our community. The biggest thing is that a lot of people can go anywhere and shop. They find the great deals. But one thing about our community, we know that they always come and show support. You have sometimes the ones that may not want to show support, and we get it. It's okay. But the ones that's for us, they always come and show support. And you definitely see with your community. When times come, where it's kind of like a little difficult for certain customers, they still show support, especially when we got looted. That was one of the times to let us know that, hey, our community is behind us. And in life, like I said, it's going to be people that's not always for you, but the ones that are, we're grateful for those.
Tell us, how do we find Shoe Mountain? Where's Shoe Mountain located?
So we're located at 2329 East Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa, Florida. We also have a website, which is shoemountaintampa.com. And our Instagram is Shoe Mountain Tampa. So those are the ways you can communicate with us and get in touch with us. And we always be able to connect back with you guys.
So if you're looking for the Yeezys, if you're looking for the Jordans, if you're looking for the Air Force Ones, Adidas,
all the latest,
everything, you guys have it all. Have it all. As we conclude this, Kareef, thank you so much for your time. Tell us a little bit more about your real estate ventures and what you're looking to do to impact affordable housing in the community as well.
So the biggest thing I realized with this in real estate right now, I talk to all my customers. That's the one thing that touched me the most when I hear certain customers say, hey, I want to buy a house, but they don't understand the process thoroughly, or they want to buy a house, but they miss the little fine details. So for me, finding information out, I did a little bit of research, and that's when I found out with the different programs they have out here for the people in the community to be able to buy a house and allow it to be affordable for them. And I want to be able to give that information back to our customers and back to our community so everybody can own a home. As you see, rent is going up. The price for owning a home is going up. Everything is changing. Tampa is growing to become one of the mega city now. So if we don't change with the time and get our people on board, they're going to miss this train. And I don't want them to miss this train. We got to take back our community and be in charge of our community. This is where we belong.
You hear it. So Kareef, not only with Shoe Mountain, but also working with families to make sure that they have the American dream, that we would call that affordable housing. Thank you so much, sir, for coming in and talking with us with the CDC Experience. You've heard it today. In this time that we're highlighting Black Business Month, Shoe Mountain, Kareef, real estate agent, they're doing some amazing things in East Tampa. Don't forget to log on to our website, cdcoftampa.org. You will find more information about all of our services, our programs, and what we're doing, and how you can become involved. The CDC Experience is available to you on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and now Spotify. We would love for you to listen to us and share this with someone else. Thank you again, Kareef, and we will see you next time on the CDC Experience.